Abuja Dr. Bryan Acheampong at the Kokobo at the Ama the NPP party said nay Acheampong but then I'm from him and ya de Acheampong ebe to me aboa ebe to me see honorable king and him nemom was also our NPP said Jera Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia na modern bannet to him a big bro. Abuja allegedly my young cancer now they my enjoy the conversation Emra.
Dr. Bryan Acheampong. You're welcome to Face to Face.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing, my brother?
Happy to see you.
You look very, very, very busy. It's difficult to see you.
I'm on the ground.
Yeah, busy all over the place. How is it going?
It's going very well. I'm on the ground, covered a lot of miles, 200 and almost 220 constituencies.
Wow.
I've been in touch with 200,000 of the 209,000 delegates, and it's quite exhausting.
And this is within what period?
In the last 4.5 months.
4.5 months?
Yes.
It must be back to back.
Yes. I mean, I try and do 4, 5 constituencies a day. At the same time, you are receiving visitors. I got to a point I was meeting 1,000 people at Rock City in the morning, and then I head out to do 4 constituencies. I come do 1,000, go and do 4 constituencies. So it's been very difficult for me in the last.
Where is your launch pad? So do you operate from Eastern region or from Accra? So that where do you regularly start from and go and return?
You know, when you are doing a constituency, you go and base in the constituency.
Okay.
So when you are doing a region,
okay,
you go and set up camp in the region. But when I was doing Eastern Ashanti, Greater Accra, I was also receiving a lot of visitors from the north, the northern parts of Ghana. Mm-hmm. So I'll go to Accra, do 4 constituencies, go and drive and sleep in Kwewu, meet them, come back to Accra. For about 2 weeks, I was just going up and down.
Wow.
Yeah.
So have you done all 16 regions yet?
I have covered 220 constituencies.
Okay, so you do constituency, not which could be.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Done 220 constituencies.
From south to north.
Yes.
And east to west.
The northern part of Ghana, KJG, Pru, and all those areas I've covered.
Afram Plains and those places.
Setra,
Afram Plains is your side, so.
Kwewu Afram Plains, Setre, Afram Plains. I've covered all those areas.
Is this the first time you have toured Ghana that extensively?
This is the 3rd time.
3rd time.
I did it twice with President Akufo-Addo.
On the national campaign?
Yes.
And then this one is for your own?
My campaign.
So you already know the routes?
Yes.
But still, you would be,
yes.
you'd be tired.
Physically,
it must be.
It's not a joke. And now it's your election. So the mental exhaustion is also on you. When I was with Akufo-Addo, it was his campaign.
So you can rest?
Yes, so you can sleep at night. He has to worry about the team, the people, the welfare, the financial, and get us going in unison. Now it's you. You know, you have to make sure that everything operationally is working well. To ensure success.
Because the buck stops with you, and
Absolutely.
It is your election.
Absolutely.
So it's your funeral.
Yes.
So you
have to organize it properly.
You have to organize it properly. And so you do this tour back to back, you campaign at night. Is it too early to ask, how do you unwind? How do you rest?
Most of the time, I remember one day we drove from Ketekrachi, and then we went up to Bandai.
Okay.
And then we came now because of the Volta Lake.
So from Oti to northern region?
Yes, and then came back down to Hohoi.
Ah.
Yes.
Wow.
And we were now being asked to come and sleep in Accra. But when we got to Hohoi, the people just, my drivers...
The spirit is willing, but the body...
couldn't do it.
Wow.
So Ketekrachi, you go back to the north. And Ketekrachi is sort of south.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So you go to the north because of the Volta River.
Yeah, to go and
you
cross.
go to the north and then you come back down to Hohoi, and on the way to Accra, we just couldn't make it.
Cannot.
And we're doing KJB, Jasikan, in Kwantan North, in Kwantan South, KJB, Jasikan, and then into Hohoi. Yeah, that was no joke.
It's important to say that while you are doing all of this, You also cannot be absent in Parliament for more than 15
No,
cities.
you can't.
Because they will sack you.
No, once in
So
a while.
how are you able to
Well,
manage
you,
the
you
Parliament?
take permission.
Okay.
You take permission
Okay.
from Mr. Speaker to be absent, and every so often.
But there are times you need to be present,
Yes,
because you don't have the numbers.
Today I'll
you
be
need
in
to,
Parliament. Today I'll go to Parliament.
Wow.
Since I'm in Accra,
yes,
I'll go to. I'll stop by Parliament.
It's hectic. But why have you gone for this? Why have you? Before I even ask you about that, who is Bryan?
But well, for your viewers,
yes.
maybe.
For those who may not know, so someone is watching us from Tumu in the Sisala East constituency. He has heard that Bryan Acheampong is running. He watches face-to-face regularly. So today he has heard that Sanda is hosting Bryan. Okay, who is Bryan? From the horse's own mouth.
Well, of course, I'm from around here, town, Eastern region, full Ghanaian, Presbyterian, went to school, Presec Legon, went to Upper Sex, sojourned to America, a bachelor's degree, 4 master's degrees, a PhD from Legon, pursuing a second PhD. My Legon PhD is in information systems. I'm doing a second PhD in security and intelligence from University of Buckingham. I'm also an entrepreneur with interest in real estate, hospitality, and IT. The ex-military, U.S. Air Force.
U.S. Air Force, were you driving plane? Because I wanted to be a pilot in my life.
Well, as an Air Force, I'm disciplinarian, a very, very bold leader. I've been a member of Parliament for the good people of Abitifi, 4th, 6th Parliament, 7th Parliament, 8th Parliament, and now 9th Parliament. I'm still there. I've been a Minister of State, Office of the President, Minister of State, Ministry of National Security, Minister of State, Ministry of the Interior, and Minister for Food and Agriculture. Served on many committees, chairman of a few committees, presently the chairman of the security, a ranking member of the Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliament, a member of the ECOWAS Parliament. I've also been an Order of the Star of Volta recipient.
Under Kufuor's administration?
Under Kufuor's administration.
Okay.
Philanthropist. I've done a lots for people.
Under the foundation?
Under the Bryan Acheampong Foundation, and also personally.
Okay. Okay. Married, children, number of children?
Of course.
So let's talk about, why have you decided that I want to be president, and by being president, I first need to be the flag bearer of the NPP?
Well, look, first of all, we as a political party, NPP, we have an elections to win. We have an elections to win. We're formed to win an elections. We went into the 2024 elections, and the results that came out of the elections portrayed 2 things. One, that we had a governance challenge, and then we also had a candidate challenge. And the governance challenge was seen from the performance of the parliamentary candidates at their level. And then if you now come to the presidential candidate, in most constituencies of this country, the parliamentary candidates did far better than the presidential candidate in the same constituency, in the same elections, in the same political party. In my case, I did much better than my presidential candidate. Here, down here in Okaikwe South, Dokwa lost by 5,000. She lost by 5,000 votes. In the same constituency, our presidential candidate lost by 11,000 votes.
More than twice?
Yes. And that almost cuts across the whole country. So, And if you put all the parliamentary results together, it beats the presidential candidate by almost 350,000 votes. Same elections, same political party, two different candidates, presidential, parliamentary. And this has never happened in the country before. In every elections, same party, the presidential candidates do better than an aggregate of the parliamentary candidates. Because as a parliamentary candidate, you have local challenges. The first time in 2024, all the parliamentary candidates put together did better than the presidential candidate. 350,000. Dr. Bawumia had 4.8 million. President Mahama had 6.3 million, 2 or 3 million or so. Put together, about 10.1 million. 11.1 million. Our presidential candidate alone got 350,000 less than a parliamentary candidate, 3% of the vote. So it tells you that there was a candidate problem and there was a party problem.
As a politician...
Beyond that, in 2024, 7 regions of this country, presidential, NPP, we could not win a single constituency. In
presidential?
Yes. In 7 regions. John Mahama is from Savannah. Savannah has 7 constituencies. Our candidate is from Northeast, 6 constituencies. President Mahama was able to win 3 constituencies in Northeast. We could not win a single one
in Savannah.
Western region, MPP's stronghold. 2024, presidential, we had 1 constituency out of 17. 1. In Central region, out of 23 constituencies, NPP presidential, we won 2. Abeto, Greater Accra, 34 constituencies. NPP presidential, we had 2 constituencies. Amava, 2. And if you go into the details of the results, we lost we lose 10,000, 20,000. In some constituencies, we lost 40,000 difference. So the question is that, why am I doing it? I'm saying that if you go into the results, it's such that you cannot repeat a candidate, not much will change. Ghanaians will forgive our party for a lot of the wrongs that it did in the past, because it forgave the NDC, it will forgive the NPP. But then you have candidate challenges that we may not be able to surmount.
But there is a counter-argument that the governance issue you talked about is to blame for this defeat you saw. In fact, this 2024 election results is an outlier. It's not something we've seen before. In fact, if you were to even look at the tracking from 92, this election looks different, completely different. And the view is that Ghanaians were angry, and then there was apathy among your own party people. So it's the apathy that resulted in the massive defeat. And it is not as a result of your candidate, but it's apathy against the government in which you were a part of.
Leadership inspires hope. Leader inspires hope.
Even when the situation is so hopeless?
I'm saying leadership. Who thought Trump could win? Leadership inspires hope. That was Akufo-Addo's government. That was MPP's government. Akufo-Addo was the leader of government. Bawumia was the vice president. I was a member of the government. At any point in time, you step out and you lead. You see, we are taught something in the military. If the leader falls down, any person that steps up to lead at the time, it doesn't matter the rank, becomes the leader until we leave theater. Once you step up to lead, you become the leader, and you have to inspire hope that notwithstanding the good, the bad, or the ugly of this, we're going into a new direction. Okay? Rough seas, Jesus stood up, let it be calm. The leader steps up, okay, provides direction, and the people will follow you. So, yes, 8 years, breaking the 8 is difficult. But don't forget that the Akufo-Addo tried to break the 8 of Kufuor. He had 49.7%. 2024, we tried to break the 8 of Akufo-Addo. We had 41%. So I'm saying that, yes, there were governance issues, but the candidate issues, because the NPP vote is there, and you need to be able to inspire the hope. Akufo-Addo was able to inspire that hope, except that we didn't cross the line. But we couldn't inspire that hope. And then we got 41%.
Does it mean that the NPP delegates in their thousands who went to choose a flag bearer the last time made a mistake?
No, they didn't. They were hopeful. They were hopeful.
Because they are the same ones who were voting.
I'm saying that they were hopeful. But that hope has to be nurtured. Jesus Christ fed the hope with miracles. You cannot, you have to inspire the hope. You have to lead the people. You have to run a campaign that drives people to the ballot.
Your flag bearer at the time, many say he did what was humanly possible.
I mean, give me the survey result that says many.
And that the
I want to see the results.
And that the only problem was that the situation had become so dire and so bad that there was no way you would be salvaged and saved as a party in government.
But I'm saying
and that you had to go to be punished and thought.
It is why we had a certain vote at the parliamentary level. At the parliamentary level. It is why Dukua, for example, I use it as a proxy for the elections results. It is why Dukua had 5,000, lost by 5,000 votes. But in that same election, same party, the other lost by 11,000.
So is it